Dear students, in this session, let us study the poem Mother, written by P. Lankesh. As you know, P. Lankesh was born in the year 1935 and died in the year 2000. He was basically a Kannada writer, an Indian poet, fiction writer, playwright, translator. Even he wrote screenplays for the cinema. He was also a journalist who wrote in Kannada language. This particular poem, Mother, which was titled Avva in Kannada, was translated into English by A.K. Ramanujan. This poem is a tribute to Lankesh's mother, who is a rustic woman who lived an uncomplicated life. He wrote it when he lost his mother. ಲಂಕೇಶ್ ರವರು ತಮ್ಮ ತಾಯಿಯನ್ನು ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ತಮ್ಮ ತಾಯಿಯ ನೆನಪಿಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಕವನವನ್ನು ಬರೀತಾರೆ. ಸಿ ಈಸ್ ಎ ವೆರಿ ರಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ವುಮನ್ who led a very uncomplicated life. So in the first stanza of the poem, the poet begins the poem comparing his mother to the mother earth. ಭೂತಾಯಿಗೆ ತನ್ನ ತಾಯಿಯನ್ನು ಹೋಲಿಕೆ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಈ ಕವನ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. The poet uses so many metaphors to show how highly productive and strong his mother was. In order to show the productivity and the strength of his mother, the poet uses so many metaphors in the poem, or in the very first stanza of the poem. He says his mother was black in color. She was just like a fertile land, and she was a stretch of green leaves, a fest of fair flowers. These are all the metaphors the poet uses in the first stanza of the poem. He says his mother was as black as the earth. She was a fertile land, a stretch of green leaves. ಹಸಿರು ಎಲೆಗಳ ಒಂದು ಸರಣಿ. She was a festival of fair flowers. So he uses so many metaphors in the very first stanza to describe his mother. She became stronger and stronger with every burn in her life. Every burn means every difficulty that she faced in her life. She became stronger and stronger day by day as she faced so many difficulties in her life. The more she suffered, the more flowers and fruits she bore. More the suffering, more the results. She suffered more and bore so many flowers and fruits. She had heavenly bliss with the kicks of her kids. Whenever her children or infants kicked her, she felt the heavenly bliss. ಸ್ವರ್ಗ ಸುಖವನ್ನು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ತಮ್ಮ ಕೈಕಾಲುಗಳಿಂದ ಒದ್ದಾಗ she felt very happy. She got the heavenly bliss by that. In the last lines of the first stanza, the poet says, she rested the basket of life on the ground, groaned and closed her eyes, never opened them again. She was carrying the basket of life on the head. ಕುಟುಂಬದ ಅಥವಾ ಜೀವನದ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯನ್ನು ತಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೊರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದು ಬುಟ್ಟಿ ಥರ. She was carrying the basket of life on her head. At last she placed it on the ground, rested it on the ground. ತಲೆಯ ಮೇಲಿನ ಭಾರವನ್ನು, ಕುಟುಂಬದ ಭಾರವನ್ನು ಭೂಮಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಟ್ಟು she groaned, suffered, ನರಳ್ತಾ, closed her eyes. Closed her eyes is also another figurative word which means she died. Closed her eyes, she died. Never opened them again. ಅವನ್ನು ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಕಣ್ಣನ್ನು ತೆರಲಿಲ್ಲ. Let us words of the poet. Black, fertile land, a stretch of green leaves, and a fest of fair flowers, my mother. You see, the poet says his mother was black. She was a fertile land. She was a stretch of green leaves, and she was a festival of fair flowers. Stronger with every burn. She became very, very strong by every difficulty that she faced. With more suffering, more fruits and flowers. She bore more fruits and flowers. With more and more suffering. Kick of her kids, heavenly bliss. She got heavenly bliss by the kicks of her kids. She resting the basket on the ground, placing the basket of life on the ground. She groaned, closed her eyes and did not open them again. ಕಣ್ಣನ್ನು ಮುಚ್ಚಿದ್ಲು ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ತೆರಲಿಲ್ಲ. So the poet in the very first stanza says that his mother died after leading a fruitful life, meaningful life. In the second stanza, the poet describes his mother being a peasant woman. His mother is an ordinary peasant woman. Raita Maile spent most of her life in farming. She spent her whole life in farming and looking after the family. Three things are made very clear in this stanza. She is a peasant woman, an ordinary woman. Spent most of her life in farming. ಅವಳ ಜೀವನದ ಬಹುಭಾಗವನ್ನು ವ್ಯವಸಾಯ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳೆದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಲುಕ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ. ಲುಕಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ. ಕುಟುಂಬದ ನಿರ್ವಹಣೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ಮತ್ತು ಮೂರನೇ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. She spent her youth in torn sarees. She did not wear very good clothes or sarees. She spent her youth in old sarees or in torn out sarees. She tilled the land. She cultivated the land in her own hands, watered the fields, and she grew the crops like pepper, jowar, corns and grains. ಜಮೀನನ್ನು ತನ್ನ ಕೈಯಿಂದನೇ ಉಳುಮೆ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀರನ್ನು ಹಾಯಿಸಿ ಬೆಳೆಗಳನ್ನು ಬೆಳೀತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. She grew pepper, jowar, corns and grains. She loved and treated her fields like tender buds. She loved the fields or crops very much. She loved them just like we like the tender buds of the flowers. She grew sacks full of corns to please her husband. She grew sacks full of corns. ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಚೀಲಗಳಷ್ಟು ಕಾಳುಗಳನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆದು ಟು ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ her husband, to make her husband feel very happy, to win a hug from him. Win an hug means an embrace, appreciation, love from her husband, and get a bracelet, an ornament as a gift. By growing the corns, she wanted to please her husband on the one hand and get appreciation or a hug from him. Finally, to get a bracelet or an ornament as a gift for her hard work in the field. Let us look at the poem. Youth spent in tattered sarees. Our hands tilled the lands, watered the fields, and raised pepper, jowar, corns and grains. Spent our youth in tattered sarees. Our hands tilled the lands. ಕೈಯಿಂದನೇ ಉಳುಮೆ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಬೆಳೆಗಳನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆದಂಥ ಬೆಳೆಗಳು ಪೆಪ್ಪರ್, ಜೋವರ್, ಕಾರ್ನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಗ್ರೈನ್ಸ್. ಟ್ರೀಟಿಂಗ್ her fields like tender buds. She grew sacks full of corns. To please her man here is her husband. To win an hug or an embrace from him, love and affection from him, and a bracelet as a gift from him. In the third stanza, the poet reflects how she looked like and lived her life. In the third stanza, the poet talks about the appearance of his mother and how she led her life. ಅವಳು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದ್ಲು ಮತ್ತು ಅವಳ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಡೆಸಲು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು the poet talks in the third stanza of his poem. When she died, her back was double bent due to heavy work she did. The poet very clearly says, when his mother died at her ripe age, her back was double bent. ಅವಳು ಸತ್ತಾಗ ಅವಳ ಬೆನ್ನು ಎರಡರಷ್ಟು ಬಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಹೆವಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಸಿ ಡಿಡ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಔಟ್ ಅವರ್ ಲೈಫ್. ಜೀವನ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸದಿಂದ. ಸಿ ವಾಸ್ ಆನ್ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮದರ್. ಸಿ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಲೇಡಿ. ಸಿ ವಾಸ್ ಎ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮದರ್. ಸಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ passed many full moons. She had passed many full moons. Here, the years she spent are mentioned in many full moons she saw in her life. ಅವಳು ನೋಡಿದಂಥ ಹೊಸ ಚಂದ್ರ ಅಥವಾ ಅಮಾವಾಸ್ಯೆಯ ದಿವಸಗಳನ್ನು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಮಾವಾಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನು ದಾಟಿದ್ಲು. ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಸೆಲೆಬ್ರೇಟೆಡ್ ಮೆನಿ ಫೆಸ್ಟಿವಲ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ವೀಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಅರ್ಥರ್ ಓವೆನ್. She celebrated many Yugadi festivals, baking sweets on the oven in her own hands. So, her years are, her age is mentioned through the festivals she celebrated, baking sweets on the oven. ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಬ್ಬ ಆಚರಣೆ, ಯುಗಾದಿ ಹಬ್ಬವನ್ನು ಆಚರಣೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಅವಳ ವಯಸ್ಸು ಎಷ್ಟು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಪೊಯೆಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಿ ವೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮೆನಿ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಓವರ್ ದ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ಡ್ ಕಾಯಿನ್ಸ್, ಪೆಸ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಿ ಡೆಡ್ ಕಪ್. She shed tears so many times in her life. She was not happy always. She wept a lot, so many times over the soiled coins. Whenever she lost her money, the coins that she had saved were soiled. ಉಳಿಸಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಹಣ ಕೊಳೆಯಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಹಾಳಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ she felt very sorry and wept for that. And she even wept for the pested crops. ಹುಳ ಹಿಡಿದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಬೆಳೆಗಳು, ರೋಗ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಬೆಳೆಗಳ ಮೇಲೂ she wept so many times, and even on dead cow. Whenever she lost a cow at home, she wept. ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ದನಕರುಗಳು ಸತ್ತರೆ she shed her tears. And she roamed the villages in search of the lost old buffaloes. Sometimes she lost her buffaloes or the cattle. So she went in search of those buffaloes or the cattle. So she worked day and night, not only at the fields, even she went in search of the cattle she lost. Let us look at the third stanza. She died with her double bent back. When she died, her back was a double bent. You see, there are so many rhetorical questions in this stanza. Rhetorical questions do not require any answer. They are questions for the sake of questions, and they themselves give the answers. The meaning of those questions are implied in them. How old you think the granny was? How old you think the granny was? ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ವಯಸ್ಸಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ can you guess how old she was? How many full moons did she see? Do you know how many full moons had she seen in her life? And how many times baked sweets in the hot oven? ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಾರಿ ಸಿಹಿ ಅಡಿಗೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ಲು ಒಲೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ. How many times did she howl over the soiled coins, festered crop and the dead cow? How many villages did she cross looking for the lost old buffalo? Even she went in search of an old buffalo which was lost. ವಯಸ್ಸಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮುದಿ ಎಮ್ಮೆನನ್ನು ಸಹ ಹುಡುಕಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದು. She loved her children very much. She loved her fields very much, and even her buffaloes and cattle. She was a peasant woman. She loved her work and her love working in the fields. In stanza 4th, the poet conveys that his mother was not placid or calm, pretty, serious woman who comes across in history. The poet very clearly says that his mother is a very, very ordinary woman. She is not placid. She is not a calm woman. Means she is a quarrelsome lady. Very systematically or in an implied way, the poet says that his mother is not placid. She is not calm. She is a quarrelsome lady. She is pretty, not a serious woman who come across in history. We come across so many women in history who are calm, who are very beautiful, and who are very, very serious. But poet says his mother was an ordinary lady. She was not as serious, not as pretty, not as placid as the women that we come across in history. ಇತಿಹಾಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರ ಥರ ಹೋರಾಟಗಾರ್ತಿಯರ ಥರ ಭಾಳ ಗಂಭೀರವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಲೇಡಿ ಆಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. She was not even like Sita or Savitri in our Indian mythology. In our Indian mythology, we come across so many ladies. Sita, Savitri, they are adored, honored, respected, remembered. His mother is not like Sita or Savitri. ಸೀತಾ ಸಾವಿತ್ರಿ ಥರ ಹೆಸರುವಾಸಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನೆನಪು ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಗೌರವಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಹಿಳೆಯನ್ನು. She was not docile, dignified and graceful like holy wives we find in history and epics. We find so many docile, dignified and graceful wives, holy wives in history and epics. ಇತಿಹಾಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ಪುರಾಣಗಳಲ್ಲಿ we come across so many wives who are very docile, dignified and graceful. She was not like such wives in history and epics. Even she was not like the wives of Gandhi and Ramakrishna. We know the two great characters, Gandhi and Ramakrishna. Their wives supported them a lot, but Lankesh mother was not like the wives of Gandhi and Ramakrishna. Even she did not pray or worship gods like the good wife. So many wives, generally they are expected to worship and pray gods to be called a good wife. But Lankesh mother never worshipped and never prayed like a good wife. It means to say that she was not at all a good wife in this sense. She did not even wear sacred kumkum on her forehead. Even she didn't go to the extent of wearing kumkum on her forehead. Generally, Hindu women wear sacred kumkum on their forehead. But Lankesh mother did not wear it to show that she was an Hindu. She was least bothered about wearing the kumkum on her forehead. She was much bothered about the family, work, and the cattle. She least bothered to live according to the set traditions. She did not follow the traditions set by the society or by our culture. She led a very, very ordinary life and as per our wish. Let us look into the fourth stanza. She was no Sita, neither Urmila nor Savitri. No, she wasn't any holy wife. Docile, dignified, graceful. You find on the pages of the histories and epics. When we turn the pages of histories and epics like Ramayana, Mahabharata, we come across so many women characters like Sita, Savitri, Urmila, and even when we turn the pages of history, we come across Yarda Devi and so many other historical characters, women. Lankesh mother was not at all like the mythical women or historical women. No, you cannot even compare her to the great wives of Gandhiji and Ramakrishna. Gandhiji and Ramakrishna had a great voice. They supported them a lot and they followed their footsteps. But Lankesh mother never followed her husband. She fought with him. She did not obey whatever he did and whatever he advocated. She didn't pray like a good wife. She did not even wear the sacred kumkum on her forehead. In stanzas 5 and 6, the poet tells us that all her prettiness was not without reason. In the fifth and sixth stanza, the poet talks about the pettiness or meanness or the shortcomings of his mother. ತನ್ನ ತಾಯಿಯ ಸಣ್ಣತನವನ್ನು, ಮೀನ್ ಮೈಂಡೆಡ್ನೆಸ್, ಮೀನ್ ಮೆಂಟಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಥವಾ ಮೀನ್ನೆಸ್, ಪೆಟಿನೆಸ್. He talks about the pettiness of his mother in the fifth and sixth stanzas of the poem. He says she bore her kids like a wild bear. The mother is compared to a wild bear. Kadu Kardiya Tara. She bore so many kids. She gave birth to so many kids. She reared her husband and saved money for the hard times. She reared her husband, controlled her husband, expected her husband to follow her dictates in some respects. And she saved money for hard times. ಕಷ್ಟ ಕಾಲಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಹಣ ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. She groaned and fought like a hurt bitch. She groaned and fought like a hurt bitch. Bitch, you know, is a dog. Whenever a dog is hurt, it groans and fights like anything. Similarly, Lanke's mother fought and groaned like an hurt bitch whenever she was disturbed by the family or by her husband or by her children. ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಅಥವಾ ಗಂಡನಿಂದ ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆದರೆ ಸಿ ಗ್ರೋನ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫಾಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಎನ್ ಹರ್ಟ್ ಬಿಚ್. ಸಿ ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೋ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. She was petty, cheap, and she picked faults with others. She was a very petty, mean woman. She was very, very cheap and she picked faults with others and fought with them. ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜಗಳ ಕಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಡಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. She fought with her children sometimes, even with her husband so many times. She bickered or quarreled like a baboon. Baboon is another animal, a monkey-like animal. She bickered, quarreled like a monkey or a baboon in the family. She did everything to save her house. She quarreled, she fought, and she groaned, not for her personal benefits. She did everything to save her house, save her husband, and kids from rain. ತನ್ನ ಮನೆ ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗಿ, ಗಂಡ ಗಂಡನನ್ನು ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗಿ, ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗಾಗಿ, ಹಾಳಾಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನು ರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಸಿ ಕ್ವಾರಲ್ಡ್, picked fault with others, she fought with them, just for the sake of the family, not for her own personal benefits. She flared when her son fell into bad habits. She got very angry and fought with her son whenever he fell into the bad habits. ಮಗ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ದಾರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದರೆ, ಅಡ್ಡ ದಾರಿ ಹಿಡಿದ್ರೆ, she fought with her son. And when her husband cheated or betrayed her for some other woman, ತನ್ನ ಗಂಡ ಬೇರೆಯವರ ಸಹವಾಸ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ she fought with him, got very angry with him, fought with him like anything, like a hurt bitch. All she cared for was her meager possessions. She only cared for the meager possessions she had with her. ಅವಳಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಸ್ತುಗಳ ಉಳಿಕೆಗಾಗಿ, ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಬದುಕಿಗಾಗಿ, ತನ್ನಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನು, ದನಕರಗಳನ್ನು ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗಿ, meager possessions. She was not such a rich lady. She had only a few things, essential things in her life. In order to save them forever, she fought with her family, with her husbands and children. She cared only for her possessions. She just lived for grass, grain, for her kids, hard work, for rice, for a blanket to cover, and a roof over her head, and respectable living among the fellow pig. She lived for grass, ಹುಲ್ಲಿಗಾಗಿ, ಕಾಳಿಗಾಗಿ, and for the sake of her own kids, for hard work, for rice, ಊಟಕ್ಕಾಗಿ, ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗಾಗಿ, ಹುಲ್ಲು ಕಾಳಿಗಾಗಿ, ಫಾರ್ ಎ ಬ್ಲಾಂಕೆಟ್ ಟು ಕವರ್, ರಾತ್ರಿ ನಿದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಬ್ಲಾಂಕೆಟ್ಗಾಗಿ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎ ರೂಫ್ ಓವರ್ ಅರ್ ಹೆಡ್, ಫಾರ್ ಅವರ್ ಓನ್ ಹೌಸ್, ತನ್ನದೇ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸೂರು ಇರಕ್ಕೆ ಮನೆಗಾಗಿ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬಿಸೈಡ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಬಲ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಅಮಾಂಗ್ ದ ಫೆಲೋ ಫೋಕ್, ತನ್ನ ಅಕ್ಕಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿರೋರ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಳ ಗೌರವಯುತವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಟು ಲೀಡ್ ಎ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಬಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಮಾಂಗ್ ಅವರ್ ಫೆಲೋ ಫೋಕ್. ಇದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಸಿ ಲಿವ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ದ ಪೈಟ್ ಸೇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ವೈಲ್ಡ್ ಬಿಯರ್ ನೀಡೆಡ್ ನೋ ಬುಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರೈನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಹೋಲಿ ಬುಕ್ಸ್. ಸಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಅವರ್ ಓನ್ ಅಜೆಂಡಾ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಲೈಫ್, ಸೆಟ್ ಅಜೆಂಡಾ ಫಾರ್ ಅವರ್ ಓನ್ ಲೈಫ್. ಅವಳ ಜೀವನಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅಜೆಂಡಾ ಇದೆ. ಮಕ್ಕಳು, ದನಕರುಗಳು, ಕುಟುಂಬ ಮತ್ತು ಗೌರವಯುತವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜೀವನ ವಾಸ್ ಅವರ್ ಅಜೆಂಡಾ, ನಾಟ್ ದ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರೈನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ದ ಹೋಲಿ ಬುಕ್ಸ್. ಅವಳಿಗೆ ವೇದ, ಉಪನಿಷತ್ಸು, ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆ, ರಾಮಾಯಣ ಇವ್ಯಾವುದೂ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸಿ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ ವೈಲ್ಡ್ ಬಿಯರ್, ಸಿ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ ವೈಲ್ಡ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್. ಸಿ ನೀಡೆಡ್ ನೋ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರೈನ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಆರ್ ಹೋಲಿ ಬುಕ್ಸ್. ಇವರ ಯಾವುದರ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಅವಳಿಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸಿ ಫಾಲೋಡ್ ಅವರ್ ಓನ್ ವೇ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಫ್. So she is an ordinary lady, so we cannot compare her to the epic characters or historical characters that we come across in history. And let us look into the stanza 5. Like a wild bear, she bore her kids, ಕರಡಿ ಥರ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನು ಎತ್ತಲು, reared her husband, controlled her husband, monitored her husband, and saved some money for hard times. ಕಷ್ಟ ಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಹಣವನ್ನು ಉಳಿಕೆ ಮಾಡೋ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ. ಲೈಕ್ ಎ ಹರ್ಟ್ ಬಿಚ್, ಸಿ ಗ್ರೋಲ್ಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫಾಟ್ ಟು, ಸಿ ಫಾಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಗ್ರೋಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಎನ್ ಹರ್ಟ್ ಬಿಚ್. ಸಿ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಪೆಟಿ, ಚೀಪ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಸಿ ಫಿಕ್ಟ್ ಫಾಟ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಹರ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹರ್ ಹಸ್ಬೆಂಡ್. ಸಿ ಬಿಕರ್ಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಎ ಬಬೂನ್, ಕ್ವಾರಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಎ ಬಬೂನ್. ಸಿ ಡಿಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್, ಬಿಕರಿಂಗ್, ಕ್ವಾರಲಿಂಗ್, ಫೈಟಿಂಗ್, ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸೇವ್ ಅವರ್ ಹೌಸ್, ತನ್ನ ಮನೆಗಾಗಿ, ಮನೆ ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗಿ, to save her husband from bad habits, and to save her kids. She would flare when her son went wayward. She got very angry when her son followed the wrong path or joined the bad company, and her husband sniffed here and there. Sniffed means went in search of some other woman, deserting her. So the poet says the wild bear, her mother is a wild bear. It is a metaphor. Needs no books of doctrines and none of your holy Gita, Ramayana, Mahabharata. My mother lived for grass and grain. She only lived for the grass and grain. Grass for the cattle and grain for the children. For her kids and hard work. She lived for her own kids and for hard work. For rice, a roof over her head, and a blanket to cover, and to walk equal with her fears. So in the concluding stanza of the poem, the poet pays a tribute to his mother. To such a mother, Lankesh showers his love, praise, tears of gratitude for bearing and rearing her children. To such a mother, even though she is a peasant woman, an ordinary woman who had all the negative qualities, Lankesh loved his mother so much, even after all these things. Because he showers his love, praise, and tears of gratitude to his mother for bearing and rearing her children. ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ, ಸಮಾಜ ನಿರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸುಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಜೀವನ ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ಹೋದ್ರು ಸಿ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಆನೆಸ್ಟ್, ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ವುಮನ್. ಸೊ ದ ಪಯಟ್ ಫೇಸ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್, showers his love, showers his praise, and sheds tears of gratitude for his mother at her death, for bearing and rearing her children. He feels proud for her living in the soil. The poet is very proud of his mother because he lived in the soil. ಮಣ್ಣಿನಲ್ಲೇ ಬದುಕಿ, ಮಣ್ಣಿನಲ್ಲೇ ಹುಟ್ಟಿ, ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದೆಮ್ ಬಿಹೈಂಡ್ ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ಲಿ. ಸಿ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ದೆಮ್ ಬಿಹೈಂಡ್ ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ಲಿ, ವಿದೌಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬಿಂಗ್ ದೆಮ್, ವಿದೌಟ್ ಟ್ರಬಲಿಂಗ್ ದೆಮ್. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ತೊಂದರೆ ಕೊಡ್ದಾನೆ ಕೊನೆಯ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕಾಯಿಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬೇರೆಯವರಿಂದ ಸೇವೆಯನ್ನು ನಿರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸಿ ಡೈಡ್ ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಯಾಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಸಿ ವೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಹೋಮ್ ಟು ದ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್. ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಸಹಜವಾಗಿ ಜಮೀನ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೋದಂತೆ ಜೀವನದ ಕೊನೆಯ ದಿವಸಗಳನ್ನು ಕಳೆದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಸುವಲಿ ಸಿ ವುಡ್ ಗೋ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಹೋಮ್ ಟು ದ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಹರ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಕೇಮ್ ಟು ಎನ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಸಿ ವೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಹೋಮ್ ಟು ದ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಸಿ ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬ್ ಎನಿಬಡಿ ಎಲ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಪಯಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ರಿಚ್ ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಟು ಲಂಕೇಶ್ ಮದರ್. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಲಂಕೇಶು ಪೇಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಟು ಈಸ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ವುಮನ್. ಹಿಯರ್ ಈಸ್ ಸಮ್ ಲವ್. ಕೊನೆಯದಾಗಿ, after talking about his mother and her nature in the earlier stanzas, the poet pays his love, showers his love to his mother. He praises his mother, sheds tears of gratitude for bearing us, for rearing us, for living in the soil. She lived in the fields, she lived in the soil, and for leaving us, she left all of them behind amidst some small talk, as if she was talking, moving amidst them, as casually as he would go from home to the fields. So let us look into the Kannada version of this poem. Lankesh says, ನನ್ನವ್ವ ಫಲವತ್ತಾದ ಕಪ್ಪು ನೆಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಸಿರು ಪತ್ರದ ಅರಿವು, ಬಿಳಿಯ ಹೂ ಬಣ್ಣ, ಸುಟ್ಟಷ್ಟು ಕಸವು, ನೊಂದಷ್ಟು ಹೂವನ್ನು, ಮಕ್ಕಳುದ್ದರೆ ಅವಳ ಅಂಗಾಂಗ ಪುಲಕ, ಒತ್ತ ಬುಟ್ಟಿಯ ಇಟ್ಟು ನರಳಿ ಎವೆ ಮುಚ್ಚಿದಳು ತೆರೆಯದಂತೆ. ಪಲ್ಲ ಜೋಳವ ಎತ್ತಿ ಅಪ್ಪನ್ನ ಮೆಚ್ಚಿಸಿ ತೋಳು ಬಂದಿಯ ಗೆದ್ದು, ಅಂಟೆಗೊಂದು ಮಗೆ ನೀರ ಹಿಗ್ಗಿ, ಮೆಣಸು ಅವರೆ ಜೋಳ ತೊಗರಿಯ ಒಲವ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊತ್ತು, ಹೂವಲ್ಲಿ ಗದ್ದೆಯ ನೋಡಿಕೊಂಡು, ಯೌವನವ ಕಳೆದಳು ಚಿಂದಿಯ ಸೀರೆ ಉಟ್ಟುಕೊಂಡು. ಸತ್ತಳು ಈಕೆ ಬಾಗು ಬೆನ್ನಿನ ಮುದುಕಿಗೆಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಯ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಗಾದಿಯ ಚಂದ್ರ, ಒಲೆಯೆದರು ಹೋಳಿಗೆಯ ಸಂಭ್ರಮ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಲ ಈ ಮುದುಕಿ ಹತ್ತಳೋ ಕಾಸಿಗೆ, ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಪೈರಿಗೆ, ಸತ್ತ ಕರುವಿಗೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಲ ಹುಡುಕುತ್ತಾ ಊರೂರು ಅಲೆದಳು ತಪ್ಪಿಸಿಕೊಂಡ ಮುದಿಯ ಎಮ್ಮೆಗೆ. ಸತಿ ಸಾವಿತ್ರಿ ಜಾನಕಿ ಊರ್ಮಿಳೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಚರಿತ್ರೆ ಪುಸ್ತಕದ ಶಾಂತ ಶ್ವೇತ ಗಂಭೀರ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿ ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣರ ಸತಿಯರಂತಲ್ಲ, ಮುತ್ತೈದೆಯಾಗಿ ಕುಂಕುಮ ಕೂಡ ಇಡಲ್ಲ. ಬನದ ಕರಡಿಯ ಹಾಗೆ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಹೊತ್ತು ಗಂಡನ್ನ ಸಾಕಿದಳು, ಕಾಸು ಗಂಟಿಕ್ಕಿದಳು, ನೊಂದ ನಾಯಿಯ ಹಾಗೆ ಬೈದು ಗೊಣಗಿ ಗುದ್ದಾಡಿದಳು, ಸಣ್ಣತನ ಕೊಂಕು ಕೆರೆದಾಟ ಕೋತಿಯ ಹಾಗೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಕ್ಕೆ ಮನತನದ ಉದ್ಧಾರ ಸೂತ್ರ, ಈಕೆ ಉರಿದೆದ್ದಾಳು ಮಗ ಕೆಟ್ಟರೆ, ಗಂಡ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಬನದ ಕರಡಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆ, ನನ್ನವ್ವ ಬದುಕಿದ್ದು ಕಾಳು ಕಡ್ಡಿಗೆ, ದುಡಿತಕ್ಕೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ, ಮೇಲೊಂದು ಸೋರು ಅನ್ನ ರೊಟ್ಟಿ ಅಚಡಕ್ಕೆ, ಸರೀಕರ ಎದುರು ತಲೆ ಎತ್ತು ನಡೆಯಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಇವಳಿಗೆ ಮೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಕೃತಜ್ಞತೆಯ ಕಣ್ಣೀರು, ಎತ್ತಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಕಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ, ಮಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಬದುಕಿ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಹೊಲಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದಂತೆ ತಣ್ಣಗೆ ಮಾತನಾಡುತ್ತಲೇ ಹೊರಟು ಓದುತ್ತಕ್ಕೆ. Let us look at some of the questions and try to answer them. Why does the poet compare his mother to fertile black earth? ತಾಯಿಯನ್ನು ಫರ್ಟೈಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಅರ್ತಿಗೆ ಪಯಟ್ಟು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣಗಳೇನು? ಸಿ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಪೆಸೆಂಟ್ ವುಮನ್. She was as fertile as the black earth. That is why, in order to show the merits of his mother, the poet compares his mother to the fertile black earth. How or why did she please her husband? She pleased her husband to get an embrace or appreciation from him on the one hand. On the other hand, she wanted to get an ornament for her arm from him. Why did she weep several times? She wept several times for the lost calves, for the festered crops. ದನಕರುಗಳು ಕಳೆದೋದ್ರೆ, ಬೆಳೆ ಹಾಳಾದರೆ, she wept so many times for a lost coin. Why do you think she cursed, snared and fought like an earth bitch? She cursed her family, fought with them like an earth bitch whenever they went wrong. Why did she live for? Why did Lankesh mother live for? She lived for crops, lived for hard work, lived for her kids, lived for her family, lived for a respectable life amidst the fellow folk. Why do you understand by the line, a jungle bear has no need for your Gita? A jungle bear, Lankesh says that his mother is a jungle bear. She does not need the doctrines from the holy epics like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita and other things. We need not to study the great epics to lead a respectable and honest life. ಗಂಭೀರವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ರಾಮಾಯಣ, ಮಹಾಭಾರತ, ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆಗಳ ಅಧ್ಯಯನದ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವನ ತಾಯಿ his mother is a best example for all this. She did not worship, she did not read all these great epics, she did not read history and follow the footsteps of historical women. She led her life in her own way, in an honest way, dignified way, respectable way, with hard work. ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಿ. That is why the poet very clearly says that a jungle bear has no need for your Gita. Why does the poet shed grateful tears? The poet sheds his tears at the death of his mother for bearing and rearing them. ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನು ಹುಟ್ಟಿಸಿ ಬೆಳೆಸಿ ಸಾಕಿದ್ದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ. Name the figure of speech used in the poem. Stanza 1 and stanza 5 ಅಲ್ಲಿ we come across so many metaphors and similes. Sita, Savitri, Urmila, wives of Ramakrishna, and even in the first stanza, fertile earth, black earth. These are all the figures of speeches, similes and metaphors. Wild bear, baboon. These are all the figures of speeches the poet uses in the poem. Why does the poet use them? The poet uses all these figures of speeches to show the fertility or usefulness of his mother. She is as useful as a fertile earth. Her complexion is black earth. She was not as attractive as the women that we come across in epics and histories. She is an ordinary woman. And her character is just like wild animals. He is not polished. ಅವಳ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿತ್ವ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದು ಪಾಲಿಸ್ಡ್, ಕಲ್ಚರ್ಡ್, ಸಿವಿಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ವೈಲ್ಡ್ ನೇಚರ್. ಅವಳ ಸ್ವಭಾವ ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳ ಥರ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು, ಬಟ್ ವೆರಿ ಆನೆಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ದ ಪೊಯೆಟ್ ಯೂಸಸ್ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಇಮೇಜಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫಿಗರ್ಸ್. Let us try to understand or answer a few questions. The poet's mother grew crops on a farm, watered the plants of pepper, pea, millet and grain, plowed the field with her own hand, did all the above. She did all the above. Thank you for listening.